Hello, I'm Dave Abram.
And I'm Kristin Lagana. Welcome to Anne Arundel County Week in Review. Today we'll preview the Fort Meade Youth Job Fair, and Karla Schaffer returns with information on an interesting club for seniors that takes some very cool field trips. But first, making headlines. This first story is very near and dear to my heart. Residents in every area of the county have cause to celebrate because they have boosted their recycling rates by impressive margins. The Recycling Division's website, recyclemoreoften.com, recently released the current recycling report card that shows just how county residents are increasing their efforts. Now, this report shows rates from 2008, when we started the Recycle More Often and 50/50 campaign, compared to rates from our current year. These rates are based off of tonnage. There are certain areas with great results that deserve a drum roll. So here are the top 5. Citizens of Bay Ridge and Harold Harbor, you're the big winners. The district that includes Bay Ridge, Harold Harbor, Hillsmere Shores, Epping Forest, and Rolling Knolls saw its rate increase from 31% to 49%, just a hair off of our stated countywide goal of recycling half of all of your household waste. Next up is South County. Deal, Lothian, West River, Harwood, and Shadyside went from 23% to 40%. Now, these are pretty amazing results, folks. And third, but certainly no slouch, Ferndale, stand on up. Ferndale, Linthicum, Arundel Gardens, Woodlawn Heights, Garland, and Crestwood rose from 26% to 41%. Great job, everybody. Now, if you want to find out more about what you can recycle to boost that rate even more, go to www.recyclemoreoften.com, or you can call at my office at 410-222-7951.
Those are pretty good numbers.
I'd say people are doing a really great job with recycling. Let's keep it going.
Now, you're very close to this, so you know the reasons why.
Sure.
What would you say are the reasons why?
Well, I know that there was a lot of issues regarding changing to once-a-week trash collection. But we did find that people were taking that day only to get rid of some recyclables in case they didn't want to wait till their next collection day.
They're throwing it out with the garbage.
Yeah, this is actually making sure that all the recyclables go in recycling and they're not going into the trash collection. So that's a really good thing.
My neighborhood did not make the top 3.
Okay.
But I think that's because we already recycle fairly well.
Sure.
And also, this may be part of the reason we got the pilot. Was it 65 gallon?
The 65-gallon cart
with the wheels and the lids, and you can fit quite a bit of recycling there. And I fill mine up every week.
Nice, and I think that's a big incentive for people to want to recycle more because they have a tool now that they're using that fits more into it, and that is something that all residents will be getting. We're just distributing them as we are able to afford them. So when we get that allotment, we deliver those. I think another reason is because we're making folks more aware of what we can accept, and we're increasing what we can accept based off of the awesome job that our processor does. So it seems like we can start adding more items in, like now we take photograph paper and wire hangers. So that's even more stuff that goes towards that tonnage count. So
I didn't know about the wire hangers.
The wire hangers.
I always put mine in anyway because Tracy Reynolds always taught me.
Well, see?
You put it in there if
Tracy.
you want it to be recycling later.
Yeah,
so it paid off.
Yeah, I think that all the announcements on the websites, the postcards that have gone out, and actually recording these rates have helped people want to recycle more often.
And you're fans of the show, of course.
Oh, yeah.
They watch your public service messages on a regular basis.
That's exactly what it is, Dave.
And folks, for several years, the recycling rate was stuck at 31% countywide, so it's definitely a good achievement. And keep it up.
We're getting there.
Recycle more.
We're getting there.
We need 50% for everyone.
50%.
And we promised you the return of Karla Schaffer, and here she is. Her spotlight this week is on the West County Guild for Life. These are seniors who know how to live it up. Karla.
Thanks to you in the studio. Well, I'm Karla Schaffer, and I'm here today at the O'Malley Senior Center Annex in Odenton, Maryland. And with me today is Frank Patnod. He's the president of the West County Guild for Life. Welcome to the show, Frank.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Glad to talk about the Guild.
Now, first, can you tell our viewers and listeners a little bit about the history of the Guild? Yeah,
the Guild originally got started by about 8 or 9 people back on January 8th, 1985. And they were held over at the Arnold campus for Anne Arundel Community College. And it was like that for a few years, and then it just started growing and growing to quite a few over there. Then we turned around, and when I was president of the Guild in 2011, we decided we had to expand because we had such a large waiting list, so we decided to do the West County, and we did. And we started out with about 9 people. And then that fall, we took it up to 20, and I was full. And we were at Anne Arundel Community College, Arundel Mills campus. And then in the winter session, we had to move it here because we moved to 30 people and they couldn't house 30 people. They didn't have a room big enough at the time. So we're here at O'Malley Senior Center and we absolutely love it. It is really great here. The people are friendly and everything else. Yep.
Well, I took a peek at your most recent newsletter and I saw that you recently went on the USNS Comfort. Can you tell us a little bit about that trip?
Yes, that was a dream come true for a lot of people. You know, we sit down as a board of directors, there's 5 of us in the West County, on different venues that we can go to, and that was one a lot of us wanted to go to. Well, we had planned it in November. They canceled the day of our lecture, so we came up with a standby, which was a Naval Academy, and then we rescheduled in January, and that was a phenomenal trip. We had almost all the members went with us. We got a whole tour of the boat, and it's hard to believe that a ship that size has some of the most up-to-date equipment, and how they can go around the world and treat third world countries and what they do. It was just phenomenal. I mean, everybody was excited about it. I mean, truly excited. It was a dream come true for a lot of people because we have a lot of nurses in our group, so they were really on board with this.
Right. Well, I think a lot of our viewers and listeners are familiar with the ship. It's such an icon in this area. It's gone on missions to Katrina, to 9/11, and medical missions abroad as well. And I also saw that you have some more interesting upcoming trips, the Spy Museum, the Air and Space Museum Annex.
Yeah, we're going to the Spy Museum this month in March. Last month, February, we went to the Fire Museum. In April, we're going to the Aeronautic Space Museum out in Chantilly by the Dulles Airport. And then in May, we're going to the Franciscan Monastery in Washington, D.C. This coming fall, we have some fabulous trips. We're starting out with the Sarah Barton House in Glen Echo in D.C. And then we're going to the Pentagon in October. In November, we're going to Longwood Gardens up in Delaware. And then Christmas will be December, so we don't meet. And then in January, we're going to the Cryptological Museum right here at Fort Meade. So we have a lot of diverse places that we want to go to.
Now, for those interested in going on the trips, can you tell us a little bit about the fees for the trips or the membership fees in general?
Yeah, the membership fees, there's 2 phases of it. There's the lectures, which is $17, and you just come and enjoy the lectures on our lecture day. Then the other one is the lectures and tours, and that is $59, and that's where we end up going after the lecture the following Wednesday. On the average, we go to the venue that we picked out and have the tours, and then after the tour is over, and it's usually a docent tour, we will go and have a luncheon someplace. So we try to keep the fees down, you know, in addition to the registration, because the college provides us with all the bus transportation and the drivers. So it's, you know, it's a win-win situation for us all. We love it.
And the fees include admission and lunch?
Yes, it's admissions and lunch, the fees that we charge on a monthly basis. And we've been trying to average around $30 to $35, which is, you know, admirable to a lot of people. So it makes it kind of nice and unique. So we all try to penny pinch where we can and get the best deal.
Well, it sounds like a steal to me, and I understand that although the Guild meets at our beautiful senior center here, it's really open to members of all ages.
Pretty much so. The guidelines are for the Guild, if you can attend or take a continuing education course or non-credit or be a student, you are eligible for the Guild. That is the exception to the rule here with the Senior Center. They've been very gracious about that. However, our average age in the Guild is 62 years old. So we pretty well meet the requirements of O'Malley's, and everybody's been great, and everybody has joined O'Malley that belongs in the Guild. So again, it's another win-win situation. They help us, we help them. So, and it's wonderful. Someday you'll be able to come. We'll be looking forward to that.
I will. Again, it sounds like a steal, and it sounds like a wonderful program. And for those viewers and listeners out there who want to get a little more information, who should they contact? How can they do that?
Well, they can contact me, Frank Patnod. I'm up on the web. I'm at fpatnaude, FPATNAUDE, @verizon.net. or they can come to the senior center and talk to Katrina or the girls out here. They know me. They'll give them my name and number, and they can call me. And we'll do everything we can to explain what it is, including sending them past issues of the Gadabout, which is done by Maria, to see what we're all about. And I think they would enjoy it. I really do.
Well, thank you, Frank, for being here today. And, you know, I might sneak on that trip to the Spy Museum.
You're welcome to come. I have openings, so you're welcome to come. I'll put you on the bus. Okay?
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here today. And once again, Frank Phennicie, and I'm Karla Schaffer from the Anne Arundel County of Aging and Disabilities, and back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Karla. By the way, the Guild for Life is LIFE, which Kristin stands for Learning for Everyone if you're keeping score at home. That's right. Learning is for everyone. Excuse me. Thank you, Chuck. Have you been to any of the places they mentioned? You ever been to the annex to the Smithsonian Space Museum?
I have been there.
Spy Museum?
I have not been to the Spy Museum yet, and I would really love to go.
I got a trivia.
Trivia?
For you, yes.
Dave's
I went to the Spy Museum. I liked it. Did you know Julia Child was a spy?
I did not know that.
The famous cook, chef.
Okay.
She was a spy.
So she could spy and she could cook.
And I gotta tell you, Kristin, I have my suspicions about that Paula Deen person.
Yeah?
Because she's always deep fried everything, and now she's going healthy. So
More
I think,
butter.
I think
Paula,
they need to
butter.
look into that. Find out what's going on.
Yeah. I tell you. Well, we are always on the lookout for job opportunities, and April is back to work month, so we'll have a ton of announcements in the next few shows about where to go, where to look, and how to find that opportunity you're looking for. The first one we want to tell you about is a little early, on Thursday, March 21st. It's the Fort Meade Youth Job Fair. That's right, it's for the youth. If you are between the ages of 16 and 21, this is a chance for you to dip into the job market. Now, if you have a car and stuff that you got to pay for, it's pretty smart that you want to get that job. I know I started working when I was 15, Dave. You want to take a guess?
Did you say it's a job fair for the youths?
For the youth.
The youths?
The youth.
Oh, the youth.
The youth.
Okay.
You want to take a stab at what my first job was?
I'm going to go for ice cream shop.
Yeah.
Yes.
I worked at the Bowie Bay Sox ice cream shop.
I think I was kind of cheating. I think you told me that.
Oh, I did? Oh.
My first job was at Heckinger. Remember Heckinger?
Oh, yeah, I remember Heckinger's. Now it's Lowe's? No, Home Depot.
It's not anything. It was crushed by Home Depot and Lowe's.
Not the Annapolis.
It was a family-owned, but it was a great place to work when I was a kid, and I actually worked there for like 10 years. I worked there through college and did just about every job there. I even worked out in the garden yard, believe it or not, driving the forklift and stuff. So
I used to love Heckinger's. My dad used to take me all the time.
And you know, we're talking Fort Meade here, so there might be some pretty fancy stuff. This isn't just the ice cream shop, you know what I mean?
No. These could be some really good job folks. And you guys want to make sure you get out there between the ages of 16 and 21. You want to make sure you bring a bunch of copies of your resume and dress to impress. You can score an interview right on the spot. The event is at the McGill Training Center on Fort Meade. Make sure you enter the post from the Reese Road Gate. I know it can get confusing when you get there, so the Reese Road Gate. The event is from 3 to 6 p.m. For more information, call 301-677-5590. You can also click on our banner at the top of the page at www.aacounty.org to check out all of the events for Back to Work Month.
Well, there's more Week in Review to come, including our exclusive interview with the Key School Obezags. What's an Obezag, you ask? We will answer that question. First, check out our community calendar for events around your county. We'll be right back.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Well, folks, welcome back to the show. We have some very special guests today. I'm sure you probably haven't heard of the Obezag, and there's a national competition going on sponsored by USA Today for the best mascot. So thank you to our guests for coming on the show. If you all could just introduce yourselves to our viewers.
I'm Josh. I'm a senior at the Key School.
I'm Boyd. I'm the athletic director.
I'm Brian Kelly. I'm a junior at the Key School.
I'm Megan. I'm a junior at the Key School.
Okay, so first of all, tell folks who don't know in the vast reaches of the county a little bit about the Key School. What kind of school is it?
Well, the Key School is the largest independent non-sectarian school in Anne Arundel County. It's a pre-K through 12th grade, 700 kids on campus, and we're a very laid-back, tight-knit community. As a senior, we go into a few projects with the preschool here and there. We get to play songs with them, have snack time, arts and crafts.
That's unusual.
Yeah, it's a fun time. It really brings, we call our community a circle. It completes the youngest students with the oldest students all in one.
Okay, so the big question everybody's been waiting all this time to know is what is an Obezag, Boyd? What is an Obezag?
Well, there's a short answer and a long answer. The short answer is an Obezag is simply the word gazebo spelled backwards.
Okay,
but that's the short answer.
Gazebo, okay.
The gazebo is actually a central piece of our campus. There are 3 gazebos now. There used to be more on campus. It's a place where people meet, talk. There's even classes held there at times. And this idea of a discussion together, just what Josh was talking about, the gazebo kind of represents that. Back in the 70s, when Key was already playing sports at a pretty high level, there was a local newspaper, I think it was the Capital at the time, asked us what our mascot was. And the answer was, well, we really don't have one. And the newspaper reporter said, well, no, if you want us to cover your sports, you need one. And so they thought really long and hard about, okay, what is it that makes us who we are? You know, we're not eagles, we're not bears, we're not tigers. There's something unique about us, and so we wanted a unique mascot, something that kind of turns, you know, on its head the kind of sports and only sports mentality. Something that says, you know, sports is really important to us, but so is being a unique community. And so they thought about the gazebo, but they wanted to turn it around, and so we became the Obezags. And since the 70s, it's fit us pretty well.
Well, now, Chuck, if you could throw up our graphic that shows the Obezag in action, that was a nice segue. You are up against lion, tigers, and bears in this contest. And break some news for us. Tell us where we are today in the contest.
Oh, yeah. That's you, I believe. Where are we in the contest?
Oh, okay. So, well, first we were in the Maryland contest. We won that by, I think, 94%. And so we were in, a lot. Then we're in the Mid-Atlantic region, and that just ended today, actually, and we won that.
You won?
Yes, we just won today.
Okay. So what happens next?
And now we're in the final 6. There are 6 schools left in the competition.
6 in the country out of 25,000 schools. We're one of the top 6 mascots in the country.
That's amazing. Can I throw a side ball here, a curveball on you? I mean, what are some of the other mascots in the running?
I think I actually remember some of these. There's one in Maine called the Shipbuilders.
Okay.
There's one in Florida.
Equally menacing.
Exactly. There's one in Florida called the Conchas. Because who wouldn't be scared of conchas? The one in Illinois is the Orphans.
Yeah, Orphans.
The Orphans. Oh boy, and there are 2 others that I can't come off the top.
The Dinos.
The Dinos, thank you.
The Mighty Dinos. And the Greenbacks.
Oh, the Greenbacks, the Kansas Greenbacks. Well done.
Who's scared of money?
Exactly. So those are the final 6. So we feel like the Obezag stacks up pretty well against them.
So Brian, what can people still participate in the next round?
Yeah, they can. Voting, I believe, starts tomorrow morning at 11 a.m.
Which is this morning. Because the show
good.
airs.
Today, 11 a.m.
Yes. You can vote now, folks.
Get online.
It's next Thursday.
Okay. So there's a week for people to vote, and you go to usatoday.com.
USA Today, .com, and there's a high school section, and there's a contest section for best mascot, and it's the Nationals now, so you don't have to find us anywhere else. We'll be one of the final 6.
Well, good luck to you guys. Go Obezags and beat those greenbacks and those shipbuilders. I'm sure you guys are going to take them out. Folks, we want to thank everybody for being on the show today, and we're going to take another quick break. We'll be right back.
All right, give me a spot. You know my motto, safety first.
They could be dangerous. I think we should call animal control.
Animal control?
To be safe.
Don't worry. I got this. It's a new motto.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
And welcome back. On March 13, 2013, at approximately 5:26 p.m., members of the Western District's Tactical Narcotics Team and the Tactical Patrol Unit executed a search and seizure warrant targeting drug violations at 8200 Monaghan Court in Severn. Joining us now is Public Information Officer Justin Mulcahy with further details on this investigation. Justin.
When detectives searched the residence, they seized about 14.23 grams of suspected crack cocaine valued at $1,280. As a result, one suspect was arrested and charged accordingly. That suspect is Dwayne Curtis Wright, age 31, of 8200 Monaghan Court in Severn. He's charged with possession of CDS, not marijuana, for the crack cocaine, also possession of CDS with intent to distribute crack cocaine. Folks, we're going to move on to our second incident. That one took place on March 13th around 10 o'clock in the evening. That's when officers from the Northern District responded to the Hip Hop Chicken located in the 6600 block of Ritchie Highway in Glen Burnie for an attempted robbery. Now, officers spoke with an employee who indicated that a male suspect entered the business, assaulted him, and attempted to take money from the cash drawer. The victim indicated that he asked the suspect to leave the business earlier due to his behavior, but the suspect returned, approached the victim, and attempted to take money from the register. The victim prevented the suspect from removing money and was subsequently struck in the face by that suspect, who then fled the business on foot without obtaining any money. Several units from the Northern District, including the TPU, responded to the area in an attempt to locate that suspect. A suspect matching the description was located a short distance from the scene and detained. The victim from this incident responded to that location and positively identified him as a suspect involved in the attempted robbery. That suspect was arrested and transported to Northern District, where he was charged. It's Robert Bethea. He's 38 years old, of no fixed address. Folks, as always, if you have any information on the crimes or suspects we mentioned on the show, never hesitate to call, email, or text your tip to Metro Crime Stoppers hotline. It's available 24 hours a day, toll-free. That number, you should know it by now. It's 1-866-7-LOCK-UP. Or you can text message MCS plus your message to crimes at 274-637. Also think about visiting the website at www.metrocrimestoppers.net. As always, those phone calls are not recorded and callers remain anonymous. You might even be eligible for a cash reward of up to $2,000. Back to you.
Thanks, Justin. Now let's take a look at who's shining in the community spotlight. Mark Chang is out at the Glen Burnie Rotary Club to preview their fundraiser this week at Michael's 8th Avenue. Mark.
Thanks to both of you in the studio. We're out here in downtown Glen Burnie, and with me today I have Mike Phennicie, who is a member of the Rotary Club at Glen Burnie, and we're going to talk about some of the great things that Rotary Club at Glen Burnie does throughout the entire community up in the northern part of the county, and also a great upcoming event. Mike, it's always great to have you on the show.
Thanks, Mark. It's always great to see you. For your viewers out there that don't know what the Rotary Club is, Rotary Club is it's an international organization with local chapters, and what we are is a service organization. It's business and civic leaders that get together to do projects that are good for the community. Some of the projects the Rotary Club of Glen Burnie does is we've raised hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years to give to Baltimore-Washington Medical Center to help them out in their efforts. We have scholarship funds. We give 4 scholarships out every year to Glen Burnie High School students. We have a dictionary project that gives dictionaries to every 3rd grader within the northern part of the county. We have this park we're standing in belongs to us. We do park cleanup. On the international scene, we supplied water. We came up with the money and the engineering to supply water to a village in South America. So they're just some of the projects we do, Mark.
Awesome. And I know it's really enjoyable for me to be able to come to the craft feast. I know there's 1,000 people that come out to that craft feast that you all host for the hospital. And also it's really great to partner with the school system and the dictionaries that go out to all the elementary schools out here. And speaking of that, one of my favorite events is the annual Rotary Community Service Award dinner. Could you tell us about that?
Yeah, absolutely, Marcus. Like I said earlier, we are a service organization, and our motto is service above self. So a few years ago, in our partnerships throughout the community, we noticed literally hundreds of volunteers that were out here giving to themselves every day and really had no recognition for it. So we thought, well, why not give them one night that's their night in the spotlight? So we developed a community service award, and that dinner, we have it annually now, draws about 450 people, and we'll honor around 40 volunteers, community volunteers from different community associations and organizations.
Well, great. I know it's really awesome to see that through my role over at community service through Anne Arundel County. So it's really great to see this recognition being taken place by the Rotary Club. I'll tell you what, could you tell the viewers out there, when is it? How can they get tickets, telephone number?
Yeah, absolutely. The event is March 21st. It starts at 5:30 p.m. It's at Michael's 8th Avenue right here in Glen Burnie. It'll just be a great night, and if anybody's interested in tickets or even joining the Rotary Club of Glen Burnie, you can call the number at the bottom of the screen here.
Okay, great, awesome. Well, we really appreciate your time, Mike, and good luck with the event that's coming up next week on March 21st. So it's a wonderful opportunity to get involved with the Rotary Club at Glen Burnie. So if you're interested in being part of it, please give them a call. And this is such a great event. So reporting from downtown Glen Burnie with Mike Phennicie with the Rotary Club at Glen Burnie, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Mark. The Rotary is so important to the community, so come on out and support this event.
This week, the Anne Arundel County Fire Department responded to more than 1,376 calls for service, including 1,072 emergency medical calls and 107 fire calls. A fire damaged a home in Millersville. Crews responded to a 2-alarm brush fire in Curtis Bay, and the fire department announced the purchase of new life-saving technology. Here now with more is Division Chief Keith Swindle of the Anne Arundel County Fire Department. Chief.
Thanks, Kristin. At 8:30 p.m. on Friday, March 8th, Anne Arundel County firefighters responded to a reported dwelling fire in the 1600 block of Maud Lane in Millersville. The first unit to arrive on the scene reported fire evident from the second floor of a 2-story occupied home. An interior attack of the fire quickly brought the incident under control. 38 firefighters responded to the 1-alarm incident that caused approximately $10,000 in total damage to the home. The cause of the blaze remains under investigation, and no injuries were reported. The second incident occurred at approximately 5 p.m. on Saturday, March 9th. Anne Arundel County Fire Department began receiving multiple 911 calls reporting smoke in the area of the Mitchell's Asphalt Company in Curtis Bay. Finding more than 4 acres involved in fire, the first arriving units requested a second alarm, bringing more than 40 personnel from the Baltimore City and the Anne Arundel County Fire Department to the scene. The fire was brought under control at 7 p.m. with no injuries reported. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. Finally, as part of a department-wide initiative to increase survival from sudden cardiac arrest, County Executive Laura A. Newman and Fire Chief John Robert Ray are pleased to announce the purchase of 23 Physio-Control Lucas II chest compression systems for the Fire Department's Emergency Medical Service Advanced Life Support Units. The new equipment supports the new cardiac arrest management model being implemented by the department. County Executive Newman stated that the addition of this technology adds another link in the chain of survival to our citizens who suffer a sudden cardiac event. The new systems are scheduled to be delivered and placed in service within the next 60 days. Chief Ray added, "We are excited to be able to add this piece of equipment to our arsenal of life-saving tools to better serve the citizens of Anne Arundel County." Back to you, Kristin.
Thanks, Chief. Now, Dave, these new machines can provide 100 compressions per minute, so they can work much faster than any human. I think that's pretty neat, huh?
How many compressions do you think you could do?
Not 100.
I have no idea.
Between me freaking out and looking around for actual help, yeah, definitely not near 100.
And there's 60 seconds in a minute, so let's say you could do one every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Help me out here. What is that, 15?
Well, it's 20. 20 for, one every...
Let me use my calculator.
Would you say one every how many seconds?
Something like that.
Whatever.
It's way less than 100, that's for sure. So,
yeah.
I mean, it sounds like really interesting technology, and as you can see in the little video clip there, I understand they can hook this up in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. So when you're talking about that, was it golden hour, you can really get the chest compressions going and at a more rapid rate, and you can probably save a lot more lives.
I'm still trying to figure out what you said earlier.
Okay,
one
so
every 15 seconds.
You had to draw this out.
So in a minute, that'd be 4 compressions per minute. 1 every 15 seconds. So you have 2 in 30 seconds.
Okay.
Double that, 4 every minute.
So it's even less than I thought.
So yeah.
Not
and
even
I was
close.
divided, yeah.
It's not even a contest.
I am ashamed of my math skills right now. I'm sorry, Mr. Marshall. Wow. In this week's Recreation and Parks Spotlight, Carolyn Ryan talks about the upcoming races sponsored by Recreation and Parks. Carolyn.
Most people think March Madness has to do with basketball, but here at Rec and Parks, we think of March and we think of our Rec Deeds 5K at Fort Meade Park. I'm here with Wendy Scarborough. Thanks for being on the show, Wendy.
Thank you for having me.
Wendy, tell us, what exactly is Rec Deeds?
Recreation Deeds for Special Needs is a nonprofit group who work with not only our adaptive programs, but other programs throughout the county and offer scholarship and assistance to those families that may need a little bit more assistance for their kids to attend recreation programs.
Great. Now we do a couple of events each year to raise some funding for Rec Deeds. Tell us about the 5K.
Well, the 5K, I think we are now in about our 15th year of doing the 5K. We started out at the Joe Cannon Stadium, and we got so big that we had to move over to Fort Smallwood Park. And this is now our 5th year there, I believe. The big thing about this race is this is also the start of our summer programs, and this is when a lot of parents are out looking for funding for scholarships for camp. This really helps us to kick that off, get those parents and their children signed up for the programs. The big thing that Rec Deeds is doing right now, which is great, they are assisting us by giving the parents the first $75 to get their child registered for camp while we look for other funding.
That's great. Now this year's run, and I keep calling it the 5K, but we also do have a 1-mile fun walk as well. And this year's race is when?
This year's race is next Saturday, March the 23rd at 9 o'clock at Fort Smallwood Park. This year the exciting thing is we also are doing it in memory of Tyler Hamrick, who was a young man who was one of our adaptive athletes who unfortunately died a little bit too early. He is one of the reasons why we have our field of dreams, the Freedom Field at Lake Waterford Park. And his mother this year has bringing a team of Team Tyler of 50 participants to the run walk. So we're very excited this year. Every year we seem to grow a little bit more, and it is just a wonderful thing, and it's a wonderful, I get goosebumps.
Now how can folks get more information about the race and how can they register?
They can go to our website, and the registration information and the information for the race is online. If they want to call in here to the department, we can also help them. That number is 410-222-7313. They can either speak with you, Carolyn Ryan, or myself, Wendy Scarborough, and we'll get them all signed up. We are also looking for volunteers this year, so if you don't want to come out and run or walk, if you just want to come out and stand along the route and cheer everybody on, we'd love to pack that park.
Yes, it is, and it is a very fun experience. It's a great time out there too. Sometimes a little chilly, so dress warm, but it is a great time.
And a lot of times it's very chilly when you start, so dress in layers, because it's been known to be by the time we're all finished, everybody is, down to their t-shirts.
And the best view.
Oh, it is a wonderful view, and if you get there a little bit early, the sunrise over the Patapsco is just beautiful.
Very good. Well, thank you very much for being on the show.
Well, thank you for having me. But one thing is, I understand we're also doing a number of other races here with the department, and one of them in the fall will also be another race for Rec Deeds, the Tri Challenge. But maybe you want to tell us a little bit more about the other races.
Yes, well, thank you for mentioning that. Yes, we're actually doing a race series this year, trying to get more opportunities for Anne Arundel County residents and visitors to come out and move more and get moving. So we're doing a trail race in June here behind our office in Annapolis. We're also doing a run in September down at Jug Bay, also a trail run. We're also going to do a run at Quiet Waters Park as part of the Bark and Bash. It's going to be called the Bark and Dash. And then we're going to try and do also a turkey trot in November. As you mentioned, we've got the Rec Deeds Tri-Challenge Sprint Triathlon on October 6th. Registration will be opening soon. So for all information on all of these races, please visit our website, www.aacounty.org/recparks. Back to you guys in the studio.
In case you missed those details, you can rewind to our community calendar earlier in the show to see the times, dates, location, and fees for the Recreation Deeds race. And this just in, Dave, County Executive Newman says she will run in the race and she is going to start training for a triathlon next year. What?
I gotta say, when she told me this today, I was like, are you sure? But she...
Good for her.
Yeah. Thankfully, she didn't ask me to try that.
We will cheer you on.
Yes, we will be cheering from the sidelines.
We will be happy to cheer you on.
But really, in all seriousness, County Executive Newman is really committed to getting out the word about healthy eating and healthy living, and she really wants to, take a leadership role in not just talking about it, but doing it. So. Here we go. The clock starts now, training for that triathlon.
Yeah.
Woo!
I mean, get ready for summer. It's a good time to start, folks.
What are we going to be doing? We're not going to be training for the triathlon.
Oh, I work out. I'm not training for a triathlon.
Okay,
I work out.
I don't work out. I was going to go crabbing or something, but that's on a power boat, so I don't know.
Not working
I need to get a bike or something.
Yeah, bike riding. That's excellent.
Well, Kristin, before we go, you know what time it is. It's time for Last Laugh.
Yay.
Now, this one was Kristin's idea, folks, and it is so rock and roll.
Yes.
It's also hilarious and
of course it's rock and roll.
Even a little bit scary.
Of course it's a little bit scary.
Roll it, Chuck.
Okay. Yeah. Seriously. Those kids, that's going to be my kids one day, man.
I knew you were going to say that.
It's going to be my kids one day.
See, I'm a little torn on this because...
I don't know if I'd let them listen to Korn necessarily.
It kind of, there's something about it where I was like,
But, my kid's in the backseat being like, hey, Mom said the way you move. Yeah.
But Led Zeppelin's a little more metaphoric in its inappropriateness.
Sure.
Than Korn, which is very literal.
Right.
Do they have maybe they have radio-friendly, kid-friendly versions of Korn?
No. I have heard, this is amazing. I just gave it to my cousin because we celebrated her child's first birthday. They have lullabies out that
I've
are
heard about
rock
these.
Songs redone as lullabies. Doesn't have the words, it's just the music.
But what we just saw, that was no lullaby.
That's got, that's not
but it was
lullaby.
pretty funny.
No.
I mean,
I thought it was hilarious.
And how many times did those kids have to hear that song? And how loud did Mommy play that song in the car?
The way that they're pretending to hold a mic though and sing with so much rage. Hilarious.
Wow.
I thought it was
those
hilarious.
kids, you know what? If those kids end up being huge rock stars, then
Sweet.
Good for them. Otherwise, if they end up somewhere else, then we might have to talk to Mom and Dad about it.
I just want to say a big shout out to my parents, okay?
Wow.
Paul and Sherry. If your kid does turn out to be a rock star, you're doing something right. Just going to say that right now.
I agree.
Congrats, Mom. Congrats, Dad.
I agree.
You done good.
I thank your parents as well because they obviously did a very good job.
Rock on.
So, Kristin.
Dave.
We've been watching the news. It was very exciting. The Ravens won the Super Bowl.
I think I know where you're going
I
with
was
this.
excited just like everyone else, even though I'm a big Redskins fan,
Sure.
folks. I'm a diehard, born and raised Redskins fan.
Yes, we know.
I don't make any apologies for that.
You don't have to.
And as a matter of fact, my brethren down in South County, I'm sure, in Davidsonville,
Sure.
for example, they would agree with me. But anyway, enough about that. What happened to the Ravens in the last week?
I don't know. It's very disheartening, and trades happen, things happen, and you learn that you shouldn't have an attachment sometimes to these players, but when you see some of the ones that have left go, it's just heartbreaking. I mean...
Was it 6 players? Was it
So,
Bolden
yep.
and Kruger
and I think Bolden
Pollard?
and Bolden was a huge shock, and then Pollard came in, and it's just like, what is going on? And you have to have faith that, the administration knows what they're doing. They know what they're trading. They know what they're... But it's really hard when you fall in love with these players to think, okay, yeah, this happens.
Well, let's throw up some of the memes.
Well,
Are they memes?
The memes, the internet memes that have come out of this.
First of all, tell our viewers what a meme is.
It's basically a image that's generated. Usually it's got some kind of caption done in like impact font, and it's a viral image that starts getting tossed around the internet. It usually takes a photo of something and then pokes fun of something else.
Very sarcastic.
Very sarcastic.
So let's throw these up here.
I know, one's from Chuck.
You can explain them.
Yeah,
one's
from Chuck, and it's got Joe Flacco sitting by himself in the bleachers, and it says your 2013 Ravens. And then the other one's Cisco, and his is a play on Ravens. Oprah's. You get a car, everybody gets a car, and it says you get a Raven, everybody gets a Raven. And it's so sad but funny.
You know, not to get too down into the football.
Well, Redskins have had some changes too.
I'm going to get to that. But let me just say, first of all, for all the people who are mad at Joe Flacco and think Joe Flacco killed the team.
No.
Joe Flacco, and I'm going to get real technical here, folks, and I apologize for those of you who don't care to this level of detail. Joe Flacco, you know how much Joe Flacco is making next year?
120.
$6 million. He's making $6 million next year. And
the contract was for 120.
There's a cap. You have a certain amount you can spend. And so if Joe Flacco was making $12 million or $13 or $14 million next year, it would explain why you have to cut all these players. But it doesn't make any sense because he's only making $6. That's not a lot.
For next year.
So, you know, I'm not a big Joe Flacco fan, but leave the guy alone. He won the Super Bowl for you. He's going to be there for years. Enjoy it. You know, you got a quarterback, you got a great running back, you got to work on the defense and the other stuff, no big deal. But I do have a suggestion for Ravens fans.
Oh, this just
something's just come in.
Yes, we will talk about that. Thank you, Chuck. Important news.
But real quick, before
news.
folks turn off the television in droves, you know, if you're a Ravens fan, you're a little worried about, you know, what's going on, and you realize that Ozzie Newsome is in it for the long plan. Yeah. You can watch the Redskins next year. You can watch RG3 back and better than ever. And, you know, the Redskins didn't lose anybody. They didn't get anybody, but they didn't lose anybody. So, you know, you gotta give some love to both teams. I can do it. Why can't the other people do it? Why can't the Ravens people do it?
I'm a Ravens person, and yes, you just, like I said, you get an attachment to some of these players, and it's hard to see them go.
You're right.
I'm not standing here hating the Flacco.
And you don't hate on the Redskins. I like that.
Yeah, I don't hate on the Redskins.
Kind of you.
But at the same time, it's a little disheartening to see, you know, these players. I mean, goodness. Bolden worked so well with Flacco. It's really hard to see him go. You know,
it is, but this happens all the time, and you're going to see that he's not going to blow the league apart next year with the 49ers. He's going to be one of those bubble guys. And
we were talking about this. A little ironic, he ended up on the 49ers, kind of like John was like, hey, Jim, I tossed you a bone, you know.
Well, that
pipe down at Thanksgiving.
That might have a little bit to do with
it.
And the 49ers made another trade that I'm missing on at the moment. But too much football.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Let's talk about the kind of football that Chuck and I like, and that's the fact that Jacoby Jones is going to be on Dancing with the Stars this season. So
there you go. You can root for Jacoby on Dancing with the Stars. You don't have to worry about the football games. Perfect.
I want to see your two-step. You better do it.
Well, there you go, folks. That's a lot of football. So.
Well, that wraps this week's edition of Week in Review up. You can watch this episode online anytime at www.aacounty.org. Archived episodes are available at blip.tv and YouTube. You can also subscribe to the free video podcast at iTunes or like us on Facebook at Arundel TV. Please tune in again next week for more highlights, news, last laughs, and probably football from around the county.